The ruthless hotel manager, who mocked a homeless woman, only to lose everything in minutes. The lobby of the Sapphire Grand was a masterpiece of crystal and gold, a place where only the elite dared to step. I was standing behind the marble concierge desk, smoothing my silk blazer, making sure everything was flawless. My name is Alara, and I spent 10 years clawing my way up to become the youngest general manager in this city. I don't tolerate mess, and I certainly don't tolerate poverty. The revolving glass doors pushed open, and a gust of cold, rainy air swept in. Along with it came a woman who looked like she'd crawled out of a storm drain. She was wearing a tattered trench coat, her hair was matted with grease, and she was carrying a plastic bag that smelled of old damp clothes. I didn't even wait for her to reach the desk. I stepped out from behind the marble, my heels clicking sharply like a firing squad. "Stop right there," I said, my voice dripping with ice. The woman looked up, her eyes tired and bloodshot. "Please, I just need a room for one night. I have the money. I've been saving for weeks." I let out a sharp, mocking laugh that made the wealthy guests nearby turn and stare. "Saving? What did you do? Collect enough aluminum cans to dream of staying here?" I looked down at her muddy boots, which were leaving dark stains on my pristine white rug. "This is a five-star establishment, not a shelter. You're scaring the real guests." She reached into her pocket, pulling out a crumpled stack of $20 bills. "I have it. $300. Please, it's freezing outside." I didn't even touch the money. I took a silver pen from my pocket and used it to flick the bills out of her hand. They scattered across the wet floor like autumn leaves. "I wouldn't touch that filthy paper if my life depended on it," I hissed. "You're an eyesore. You're a stain on my reputation. Now get out before I call security to drag you to the curb where you belong." She looked at the money on the floor, then slowly looked back at me. There was no anger in her eyes, only a strange, haunting kind of pity. She didn't say another word. She just turned around, walked back through those revolving doors, and vanished into the darkness. I felt a surge of pride. I had protected my sanctuary. I called the janitor to deep clean the spot where she stood, but 5 minutes later my personal cell phone began to vibrate. It was the owner of the Sapphire Grand, a man who rarely called me directly. "Alara," he said, his voice sounding strangely hollow. "Did a woman named Kaylee Thorne just visit the lobby?" My heart did a slow, heavy roll in my chest. There was a homeless woman. She was trying to cause trouble, but I handled it. I kicked her out. There was a long, terrifying silence on the other end. "You fool," the owner finally whispered. "Kaylee Thorne isn't homeless. She's the eccentric billionaire who just bought the entire Sapphire hotel chain this morning. She travels like that to test the soul of the people she employs." My hand started to shake. I looked toward the glass doors, but it was too late. "She just called me," the owner continued, his voice now cold as steel. "She said the hotel is beautiful, but the manager is rotten. You're finished, Alara. Don't even bother cleaning out your desk." I stood there, surrounded by all that gold and crystal, realizing that the woman I had treated like trash was now the person who owned the very air I was breathing.